Your Excellencies, Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and of course our youth. It's a privilege to be addressing you in the opening session focused on the very pertinent and current issue of the benefits of digital transformation for Africa and its youth. The distinguished panel in this session will discuss various facets of this topic, and in particular, why it is absolutely necessary for Africa to continue leapfrogging into the digital era. So this is my 2 cents or 2 pennies on the matter. Number one, technology defines the modern world. You need only look around to see the revolutionary shifts that are taking place at the level both of our personal lives and entire nation states to know that this is a fact. The tech revolution is enabling step changes in access to markets, delivery of healthcare, advances in food production, provision of education, and bringing government services closer to the citizen. All of these things that were unimaginable a few years ago. As this rapid pace of technological change continues, aided by decentralizing technology, the world is becoming more interconnected and more interdependent. The traditional development paradigm, global north gives to global south, incremental change, zero sum, all of that's been turned on its head. Innovations are emerging across the world, with many happening in countries in the global south, leapfrogging the legacy systems and digitizing faster than those in the global north. The impact this can have on global inequalities, leveling the playing field or widening the divide, will be determined by the critical infrastructure and the supporting policy frameworks that countries have in place. If for no other reason than to remain competitive, African countries must continue investing in efforts that enable the continent to keep leapfrogging ahead on the economic, social, and transformative government's ambitions and plans because of technology. My advice would be to focus on continued investments in 3 key foundational areas. 1, continued investments in technology, connectivity, data, and device infrastructure. 2, continued efforts in skilling, upskilling, and reskilling Africa's youth for the future of work. And 3, continued movement on enabling and transformative governance. That means policies and the legal environment necessary for our young people to take advantage of the possibilities of tomorrow's economy. Technologies such as digital identity, data centers, cloud infrastructure, enterprise systems enabling access to basic services in government, these are going to be absolutely necessary cornerstones to achieve our ambitions. The connectivity status is improving globally, but Africa still lags a bit behind. Recent estimates by the ITU paint an increasingly positive picture that approximately 4.9 billion people, or 63% of the world's population, were connected by 2021. But 2.9 billion people worldwide are still offline, the majority of whom are African youth. So while almost 70% of the world's youth are using the internet, only 20% of Africa's female population is using the internet compared to 37% of its male population. So Africa's young women are the most severely disadvantaged globally where connectivity and access to devices is concerned. And what this means, of course, is that our young people in Africa miss out on the opportunities to make their lives better through participating in the global digital economy. And they also miss out on accessing basic government services, accessing information and jobs that would make their lives and the lives of those that depend on them better. Equipping our youth for the future of work starts right at the school level. At my institute, we recently proposed the creation of a World Education Service to ensure that every child in the world has access to the best digital tools, free of charge, to build their foundational learning. We are already supporting governments we work with to explore this ambition and are keen to continue sparking conversations with like-minded partners. It's true African governments are investing in skilling, upskilling and reskilling Africa's youth, but we need to do more. As we leapfrog to enable the entrepreneurs that form our youth, we must continue efforts on growing our digital economies around 4 pillars: digital skills, digital platforms, digital entrepreneurship, and mitigating against the inequity that our progress in the above could fuel if we do not think cleverly about mitigating the digital divide. On transformative governance, we at the Institute hold the core belief that transformational change will be accelerated when leaders and policymakers are partnered with innovators to deliver change for their people. We have a specific program for this with governments called the Tomorrow Partnership. So political leaders and governments must work to bring tech and digital solutions to their biggest challenges, because the future will belong to those who responsibly harness the power of technology for the good of all and leave no one behind. Governments, of course, cannot achieve these digital transformation ambitions alone. There is need for close collaboration between government and the private sector to encourage and sustain investments in building the necessary infrastructure, skilling our youth, and putting in place the policies through inclusive and consultative processes. In ending, the bottom line is that technology and digital-based transformations, like any reform process, can be complex. This is therefore why we must leverage the trifactor of policy, advisory, and effective delivery to tackle the challenges we face as we continue to use technology to empower our youth. Much has been done, but much more remains to be done. To paraphrase Minister Paula Ingabire, we used to say the digital future is coming, we must prepare for it. Now we must accept that the digital future is here and we have to deal with it now. With this, I wish you a fruitful panel discussion, and I'll be following the outcomes of the YouthConnekt Summit 2022 most keenly for the lessons we will learn as we share our experiences and hear from our youth on what we should be doing. Thank you.